A lot of great summer music, as we've been talking about. INXS is going to be hitting the States this summer, July 17th. Boys, in studio right now, John and Tim Ferriss. Guys, I've noticed the first two gigs in the States are at wineries. What's going on? Are they paying you in grapes?
It's kind of an ongoing theme.
Yeah.
We just did a whole winery tour of Australia.
Yes.
And actually, it was awesome. They're great places to play. Lots of wine.
Oh, God. Do they send you home with cases upon cases?
No, but the audience are, really happy.
Yeah, we tried to do it at breweries, but, it's nicer outside with the grapes.
It is, isn't it?
No, they're just great locations,
Are either one of you guys wine collectors or connoisseurs?
I have a wine collection that's so old that it's probably worth nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
One of these times you got to open it and try it.
Anyway.
A few of us are into whining on tour.
With an H?
Yeah.
Whining.
As soon as we get into
like whinging.
the hotel room, it's like we whine about the shower's not hot enough or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So you start July 17th in the States, and as I have it, through August 14th. And we are pretty much covering, a great deal of the United States. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's great.
You can follow on Twitter at INXS, or the label has it up there, rhino.com.
Yep. Or INXS.com.
Or Facebook.com/INXS. That Facebook thing is really working out.
Yeah.
It's becoming quite big. Are you guys active on social media?
No.
Nothing. You've never sent a tweet in your life?
No, I've never. I'm about to.
You thinking about getting
He's
there?
been training up for it.
Yeah. In fact, there's a secret thing hidden in my pocket.
You
right
have
now.
a BlackBerry or something in there?
Yeah, man. Don't worry. It's cool. I don't beat around the bush.
Okay, so to speak. The INXS Original Sin Tour. Now, what are you going to be doing? Is this a mix of this new deluxe edition album?
Yeah.
Is it mostly that?
No. I mean, because there's about 9 or 10 tracks on INXS Original Sin, which are re-records of the greatest hits of INXS with guest singers. Obviously, we can't tour with all those singers, so to a large extent, we'll be playing probably about 7 or 8 of those songs.
Yeah, about seven of the songs from the album. But
Does Pat Monahan, who's doing Beautiful Girl with you guys, does he come out and join you in a couple of days?
Well, it's hopefully, and it's funny you should say that because of the winery tour we just did in Australia. Pat Monahan and Train were touring with us on that tour.
Yeah,
and
great.
Pat got up and sang Beautiful Girl every night with us, and it just brought the house down and brought us down and.
Brought us down, picked
We're
us
all
back
crying.
up.
No, it's fantastic.
It was awesome.
We've got a few singers on the road with us. We've got 2 girls doing BVs and also probably sharing some of the leads and the girl parts. And JD's on tour with us doing the guy parts. So where we can, we pick
The
up
man
some
parts.
The man parts. Where we can, we pick up guests along the way because. Obviously the other artists that are singing on this record, they've got their own tour agendas as well. So where we sort of cross paths, we try to, get together with them. So as much as we can.
John and Tim Ferriss from INXS in studio right now. These are questions from our folks here at BillyBushShow.com. Okay, so we let them know that you're coming, and then they send in some questions. And it's really nice how it works, this social media thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
With 3 brothers, this is from Kristen in Denver. With 3 brothers in the band, did you all have natural musical ability, or did one of the brothers start playing and the other 2 just come along for the ride?
Absolute. Next question. No. We don't like to embarrass people here, Billy.
We're all equally talented?
Yeah, no, I started first.
That's because he's the oldest.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Basically, Tim actually did start first with acoustic guitar, and then and close behind was Andrew and John, and we both started piano at the same time.
Chronicle order.
Yeah, I was about 5 or 6 with piano lessons, but I swiftly went on to drums and taught myself drums because when we were sort of jamming, in lounge rooms. two piano players seemed a little bit over the top. So
Not only that, but we got sick of him hitting saucepans.
It's good.
so Dad bought me some drums, but yeah,
Muscled the little kid over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our father made sure we all played sort of a musical instrument by the time we were 8.
That's
you know.
fantastic.
And yeah, it's kind of. I think it was a great thing.
Actually, I was in with Tim and Kirk, all in our first band in 1971 or 1970, and I was 10 at the time.
We had to
so-
fire him because he wasn't allowed to play in places we played.
Yeah, if
So
if
he
those
was too
guys got a
young.
gig at 8:30, I couldn't play because I had to be in bed, you know. So you can.
Oh, that's funny.
That was a bummer.
All right, here's from Megan in Phoenix. How many of you have kids? How old are they? And when you tour,
Oh,
do they
God.
come with you?
Yeah, we all have kids.
Yep, we do. Mine are 28, 23.
Mine is 6 months and 2.5 years.
Oh.
So I've got the wee ones. And I wouldn't bring them on tour. It's too much, you know. It's too much for them, too much for me. Especially if we're traveling day to day. You can't put kids in that situation.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I mean, basically, obviously I had mine a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we were touring extensively, and it was, you're in a tour bus, or a private jet or whatever. You just can't sort of have a 2-year-old running around the plane or
It's a
the
bad idea.
tour bus, you know what I mean? And
It ain't no life for a kid.
no, it ain't no life for a kid.
It's just so funny talking about kids, how we sort of digress from rock and roll into normal things like children. You can't find food, you can't have the proper environment in a hotel that you would at home, where there's a routine and there's a place to walk outside and play, and they get to familiarity is really important. And if you're traveling every day, the kids, it'd be too much stress on the kids, which invariably would be stressful for you. So
Yeah,
the whole
and
thing doesn't
it,
work.
it causes a lot of heartaches, obviously, when you have to say goodbye for 3 months,
Yeah,
and
very tough.
stuff like that. So,
Also, when the kids check out, in the hotel lobby,
yeah.
there's always a lot to answer for. You know?
Yes. What
Is it
happened?
funny?
What happened with the minibar
What's
again?
this whiskey? What's these 3 whiskeys here? They're 3 years old.
Yeah, but look at my father.
What's with the Kahlua, son?
Isn't that beautiful? You trash hotel rooms,
look,
now
honey.
it's a whole new
yeah.
era of trashing hotel rooms.
Nappies.
Right.
Yeah, or
It's just
diapers. they
poop
call
on the
them.
couch. My bad.
That's it, yeah.
Sorry. Philip from Portland. Oh, here's one from, I'm going to interject there. Bra straps and things, brasiers still flying up on the stage?
Yeah, plenty.
That's great.
Yeah.
They get bigger from time to time, but
in fact, the ones that stick around are the biggest.
yeah.
Oh, God bless him.
Because we can use them for all kinds of things, like backpacks.
Hammock, when you want to nap on the road.
That's it. Yeah.
You can each take a nap in one cup.
Eye shades,
A
like,
brotherly nap, a couple's nap.
That's it.
Beautiful. Oh, that's just
No,
wrong.
but it's true. It's true. And occasionally the odd jockstrap as well.
Hey, why not? Right, exactly. Philip from Portland, Maine. Lots of artists have covered your hits over the years. What are some of your favorites, and do you find it flattering?
Very flattering, of course, and particularly the number of and quality of artists put their hands up to do. John had a lot to do with that record. So
Yeah, I sort of took the keys on that one, which was great. I always played a fairly sort of pivotal role in the rhythm section. Obviously, being the drummer, had a lot to do with keeping the grooves going and supporting the songs. But this album, by its sheer nature of reinventing the songs, like the songs were already written, So, and Andrew and Michael being the primary songwriters at the time, it was probably best left for someone like me, who had a fresh perspective on how to reinvent the songs, to kind of be the executive producer on the project, and sort of be the artist relation guy. And just oversee all the other production, all the producers, the studios, the engineers, the locations, the scheduling and everything. to put this album together. Because I didn't have so much of an emotional sort of attachment to the songs in a sense, because I didn't write them, So I was able to go in there and basically deconstruct them all and put them together like covers. I was producing, a cover album for INXS, but INXS is playing it,
And they're completely reworked. I mean, and what was interesting was that we had several songs, with singers that would put their hand up to come in and say, hey, I'd like to be on this.
Yeah.
They had their own ideas, and that was really cool as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty it was like jumping off from the deep end for me as well, because each song had up to 5 singers on it. Some of them were in different keys, so we had to record them in different keys. Some were different lengths, some were duets, some were instrumentals. So I ended up having like 5 or 8 or sometimes 10 versions of one song.
And different languages as
different
well.
languages.
Yeah. Jesus.
And so I'm like going, holy, geez. I mean, that was really, really a tough call to try and get this all sort of archived properly and get it all set up right. And then basically weed through each song to decide what's going to make the album, which artist was happy with being involved with what other artists.
Did they get
the
to weigh
record.
in, or they record and leave?
Yeah, sometimes it was kind of like I'm in, and then I go, no, I don't want to be in now, because their agenda was conflicting with ours. I mean, they had a release date which was conflicting with getting the INXS record out. So there was always a lot of shuffling around, coming and going during the course of this album production, which was basically about 2 years, and that's why. It was sort of hard to get that actual release date right, because there was so many artists involved that trying to coordinate the release date was come on, let's get
conceptually it's a fantastic idea,
right, but it was that it worked out. Seeing it there and looking at it right now in front of you, Billy, it's kind of like I feel a great relief that thing actually came to be.
INXS Original Sin Deluxe Edition, very cool. Just flipping through the liner notes, fellas. Great little number here. When Original Sin came out in America, the record company hated it. They thought it was dangerous and crazy, that we were crazy, and that they were worried for us. One time we were playing in Austin, Texas. This is genius. One time we're playing in Austin, Texas, and this guy threw a pistol on stage, hollering in his Texan drawl, "I think you guys might need this." It really was a scary play.
Yeah.
What was going on? He threw the gun on stage because he thought you guys were going to get, beaten?
I guess. I mean, there was this whole bunch of controversy about the lyrics. Obviously, it was hitting a lot of...
It was a good gun.
It was a great Magnum,
Was it loaded? I mean,
man, it was just that was crazy stuff, crazy times. But the song, Original Sin, the lyric content, black girl, white boy, it obviously, it stirred a lot of people
Texas.
up at that time. It's probably a bit ahead of its time in terms of people weren't ready to receive that kind of lyric in a song. So obviously, we're very proud now to have Rob Thomas involved with redoing that song.
And DJ Elatis.
And DJ Elatis, so he does the Spanish rap on it. To hit the dance charts and Billboard at #1 is a great feeling for us, because finally that song got its heyday. It got its time in the sun it deserved.
And originally it was produced by Nile Rodgers. Who from Chic, who unfortunately isn't well at the moment. So our heart goes out to him and hope he gets better soon. But having a black producer produce that song,
powerful.
It was powerful, and it was awesome, because we were like in awe of him at the time, big fans, listening to his music and the stuff he'd done with Madonna and Michael Jackson and whatnot, and then to suddenly just meet him backstage at Maple Leaf in Toronto in Canada, and suddenly end up 3 days later in the studio.
Get some white boys in the New York, the Power Station, that really famous studio. Power Station. And there we were, some white boys from Australia doing some funky stuff with Nile Rodgers, Original Sin.
Yeah, and he was also working on a record at Electric Ladyland Studios with Daryl Hall and John Oates, who came along and sang backups. So it all just kind of happened over like 3 days, and it was just an awesome experience. A lot of ribs.
But there's a great story here about the Pat Monahan is singing on the new album here, Beautiful Girl, but the original song, that song would not have come about if not for Michael Hutchence leaving the lyrics to a different song in a cab, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that story, but do you know more about that one, Tim?
Original Tim. No.
Did that not
To be
happen?
honest,
Billy, can you tell us a story about
I
the...
thought
Tell
he
us the
left the
story,
lyrics
Billy.
in a cab, came to your house, and you guys were
No, I think that
not
was,
happy.
I think that
Came
was
to
Need
your
You
house.
Tonight. I think that was Need You Tonight.
Oh, well, the way that when I read it in there, it was Andrew. Michael
Right,
was going
yeah.
to Andrew's house, and he was working on a song at the time for his daughter Grace, who's
Yeah.
just been born, called "Beautiful Girl."
Right.
And he'd
Oh, I see. I
And
understand.
he had
I
lost
understand.
the lyrics and
I
said,
see.
"What are we going to
Right,
do?"
right,
And
right,
Andrew
right.
said, "Well, I got this song. I wasn't
Right.
planning on using it."
Okay.
But
just written it for him.
All right, let's get that sort. Okay, yeah, Billy, that's right. Because normally Michael would prepare the lyrics and do the melodies, and Andrew would do the music side of stuff, and that was sort of how the relationship kind of worked with the songwriting. So at this time, Michael obviously left these lyrics in the cab, and Andrew had to pull what he had prepared about his daughter Grace, and that's the lyrics to
That's Beautiful Girl.
Yeah.
That's Beautiful Girl.
what a beautiful girl! What a great ode! I mean, there's
Yeah.
and now it's got a whole new life.
And
Yeah.
Pat just had a beautiful little girl.
Yes.
So, emotionally for him, it was great to sing.
Yeah, he had a total affinity to singing that song, and what a great job he's done. His voice is a beautiful voice, and you can just hear it in his performance.
What's
Yeah,
your
man,
fa-
that guy can sing anything.
What's your favorite Train song?
That's a good question.
I really love this Hey
probably
Soul
Save
Sister.
Me,
What-
San
Well, I
Francisco.
have to agree with
It's-
you.
That's killing it now.
I mean, I have to
really.
agree with the Soul Sister. I mean, it's always in my head.
Yeah, Soul
Always
Sister's
in my
pretty
head.
amazing, but-
A lot of people have been using like mandolin, that sort of that sounding guitar, ukulele type thing. It's become quite like a new thing to sort of write with that instrument in it. But
They're so portable.
but I think, and also sort of romantic. But it's really nice to hear that he coined that, like that musically and lyrically and melodically, like that song. Just wham! I mean, he got it all right, all the bits and pieces on that song.
They, like I said, they just toured with us, and every night they'd sort of change the song list around, and that they'd be playing like a Zeppelin melody, or medley, I should say, and and it was just amazing what he can actually do vocally.
Yeah.
It blew us away.
It's also a lot
match.
of fun for INXS to kind of branch out. When Michael died, obviously, the five of us grouped together even tighter than before. And we're family anyway because there's three brothers in the band. And for us to have gone through so many years together and to lose Michael was obviously inexplicable. I mean, it's something you can't
totally.
explain. But that sort of strength and growth that we've developed is great fun for us to share with lots of other artists. And I think that's the other thing with this album, Original Sin, is to celebrate the fact that we can go out there and share all of our experience and all our passion for music and share it with other people that we love and that we have gotten a lot of inspiration from.
Yeah.
And including instrumentalists like John Mayer and people like that. So it's really nice to get together with these musicians are really
Ben Harper.
talented people and get together and play with them, and it feels fantastic.
Yeah,
Having the to be able to do that,
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a thing that we say, that we grew up together since we were kids. We went to two different high schools, and we've grown up together literally. And when you lose a family member, it doesn't stop you being a family.
Right.
So now we adopt people.
Yeah. Right. Take them in for a little while.
Yeah,
Makes it sound dangerous, doesn't it? Really?
we're off to Ethiopia.
Part of the family.
The obviously the classic, INXS sound is defined a lot by the voice of Michael Hutchence. Do you?
Yes, sure.
There's phases of grief. There's,
Yeah.
and one of
There
them,
is.
the latter phase, is anger. Do you ever
Yes.
get angry at him?
There at first there was many emotions. First of all, obviously sorrow and loss, and then came anger, and then once you get over the anger part, you just move on.
Yeah.
Life has to.
But that's a really good question, Billy. I mean,
It is, Billy, I
Let's
agree.
get down to the real raw part of that question. I mean, of course, I mean, I know from time to time I get absolutely pissed off. I mean,
It's not a Maracas player. It's the center.
Man, this is
Exactly.
not an easy thing. The thing is, and once you get your head around the fact you can never replace Michael, and this is where people always go, well, you can't replace Michael. How can you expect him or her to do that? It's like we're not expecting anyone to replace Michael, nor should you. No one can ever replace Michael. We never attempted to want to replace Michael. We can't. I mean, that's why, let's embrace whoever can sing with us, to embrace them, because Michael is Michael, and that phase of INXS is always going to be there. We could never take that away.
And someone like Pat Monahan, grew up listening to Michael, and was inspired by him.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of the people that sing on this record said exactly the same thing. Rob Thomas in particular.
This is the right thing to be doing. This is the perfect thing to be doing. Let people
Thank you.
who love it, who are so, I mean, it's who grew up with it. It's just part of them to go and give me a crack at that. Let me
You're
show
right.
you.
Yeah,
let me
that's
pay
what it was
tribute
like,
to
actually.
it.
I mean,
beautiful.
you had Ben Harper. I mean, what a force there. An amazing artist. Rob Thomas. Tricky from Massive Attack.
Yeah.
Milling from there.
Exactly. You get these people walking in the studio, and the first thing they say is, "Please, I'm overwhelmed with, I'm kind of nervous because I don't want to be sort of put against Michael. I don't want to, try and how can I ever do what he did?"
You won't be.
And
I
so
mean,
exactly,
I don't see that. I don't see how you could be.
Thanks,
and
Bill.
once what we have to do is make them feel relaxed, to say, please don't worry about that. You're here to pay tribute to that, and it's out of respect that they're there. Because if you can imagine, it's really hard for those people to have walked in and to have sung those songs, because it's out of respect that they did them. And that's what I have learnt, a great deal of respect for these artists that are on this record, because of how much respect they had for Michael.
It's really fun. Check it out. Great idea. INXS Original Sin Deluxe Edition. And hey, 17th, they arrive in the States. So check them out on Facebook or wherever you like. It's easy to find. Facebook.com/INXS. And let's get out and hang out.
Okay, man.
Next time you do a vineyard near me, I'll be right there with you. I'm a wino.
You'll probably already be there.
I'm a wino. I'm not gonna lie.
The Sauv Blanc.
I'll introduce you, and we'll all drink wine together.
Alrighty,
Sounds like a good deal.
Thanks for the Norwegian glacial water too, by the way.
The best for you.
Yeah.
Only the best.
Thanks, Billy.
Next time I'll do drop water.
Yeah, right. The sly ice.